you grow up with a NES, PlayStation, Star Wars, cartoons, and 80s TV? Do you like to think who would win in a fight between Batman and the Master Chief? Comics, games, movies, music, and TV, they're gonna tell you everything you need. Superheroes or not, they got your back. They're gonna save the world of geeks. Games, movies, music, and TV, they're gonna tell you everything you need. Superheroes or not, they got your back. They're gonna save the world of This Week in Geek. This Week in Geek.
And now it's time for another special feature.
Pickle.
Okay, everyone, I had the opportunity to go to a Roku press event in Toronto to talk about their new upcoming product launch, which actually launches today. So, went up to this nice hotel, got to speak one-on-one, ask some questions, and I got to sort of play around and look at the new devices and sort of see where their streaming strategy is going over the next little while. And for those wondering, if you've been living under a rock, basically you won't know what Roku is, but Roku is pretty much the leading streaming company in Canada when it comes to physical boxes. If you buy a TV, generally 1 in 3 TVs that are smart TVs now are powered by Roku, even as like the full operating system. So my current TV is as well, that I picked up a couple months ago. So what is different with these new the new 3 devices that are coming out or are out right now, actually. Well, the Roku Express, which is the one that you saw in stores, that like the very entry level one that'll get your TV working with 1080p. It's like it's the bare bones, get you turn your TV smart, get you streaming. It is fairly cheap, actually, and when you consider that you get like pretty much full 1080p quality for $40. It has an MSRP of $39.99, which is pretty good, and it's 10% smaller than the previous one that came out in the last generation. If you just eyeballed it, you'd think it was the same size till you see them side by side, and that 10% accounts for a little less weight. The big deal here is they've upgraded the CPU so that it's even more low power. It doesn't require a USB cable to power it, like most of these streaming sticks and other devices, Android boxes, blah blah blah, everything. Even Chromecasts require external power because the HDMI is not powerful enough to power a separate device. In this case, it actually is, and it's powered directly by the HDMI port and doesn't require anything else. So you can plug your HDMI cable in. It even comes with a little sticky strip that you stick to it, like two-sided tape basically, and you can stick it to the bottom of your TV so that you can have the IR port facing forward so your remote works with it. And it's very clean that way, in that it's a single cable solution, doesn't require anything else. So it's going to be good for people that are using like smaller TVs, let's say like in a kid's bedroom or something, and you don't want cable management to have to worry about that sort of thing, or for, like in my case, like grandma. It'll be good because it's just one thing plugs in and it just works. And a 1080p for most of those devices, you're probably using a 1080p streaming device with a smaller TV or an older TV that you're just upgrading to get online. And, in that case, it's pretty good. But the mid-range is that it's only $10 more to pop up to the Roku Premiere, which is the $49.99, has 4K with HDR support, Dolby Vision, as well as Dolby Atmos. So it's basically what is built into most of the 4K TVs now. So if you buy a 4K TV that is powered by Roku, it's basically the same experience. But if you're upgrading to for another TV, or if your TV isn't smart, or if you just want something in the bedroom somewhere else, it's probably going to be the one I would say price point wise is I would recommend, because for $10 more you upgrade from 1080p to 4K. Whether or not you use 4K yet is left up to you, but the fact that you're future proofing your device for it and it's got a quad-core processor. So it does require a separate power cord, but it's just the standard USB. So if your TV has a USB port, it should be enough to power it. And if not, you just plug it into the wall just like any other, phone charging device. So, it comes with an HDMI cable, which is something that not a lot of these devices come with anymore. Even though it's a simple cable, the fact that it's all in one solution, comes with batteries for the controllers, and then, has your standard, Roku interface. There's nothing different about that. The remotes are IR for the lower end models. So, it is like a normal TV remote pointed at the TV, and it works. Now, jumping up to their higher tiered point, which is the $89 Streaming Stick Plus. Now that what it does is it's a longer, thinner stick than the Roku Express or the Roku Premiere. Plugs directly in as a USB stick, as an HDMI stick, into the back of your television, and then the power cord for it doubles as a high-end Wi-Fi antenna. Which they're posting is, double the range of the previous ones. So it's basically the same power as the other 4K devices, a little skinnier with a significantly better Wi-Fi. So if, your concern is, the distance or signal strength of your Wi-Fi, that would probably be the one to go with. So, and what you're paying for with that higher price is basically the better Wi-Fi adapter built in, and the compact nature of it being a stick. If your TV is mounted on a wall and you have backward-facing ports, it will be a snug fit, so you may not be able to go with the Streaming Stick Plus from what I've seen, unless you use an extension cable for the HDMI and then sort of, tape it to the side or something, similar to how you do with the other devices. So if you're doing that, that's cool. But again, if you are planning to have it just plug in the back and it's mounted to the wall, you may have issues with room for that. But in that case, you just go with the other method I said, or go with the Roku Premiere. And at that price point, like I know that Amazon announced their Fire Cube, and it's like twice the price. So, and if you're looking at like an Apple TV, which again, great devices, but you're looking at 2 or 3 times the price. So, as far as getting in, on the cheap, it's probably going to be your best option going with a Roku right now, if you don't already have a smart device or a gaming console or something for that matter. Now, the other thing that they announced was, if you noticed in the last year, they had launched the Roku channel, which has it aggregates free content from other providers, which is cool. But they're now also going with linear content. So what does that mean? That's traditional television. Basically where you turn a channel on and it just cycles through shows and has commercials like a regular TV channel. So they're launching 14 live linear channels in the Roku channel from various publishers. Here are the channels right now. Law and Crime, which is you watch courtroom dramas that you unfold live. If you look at there's a theme to this. A lot of this is the stuff that like the older generations would like, but somebody like us or our generations, we would probably watch it and have it on in the background when we do something else. But like I'm seeing all this and it's catering. It's like, this is for my mom, this is for my grandma, this is for my dad. So there's Law and Crime, which is courtroom drama unfolding live, legal depth analysis, blah blah blah. And now one called Now This, which is a mobile news brand. All Time, which aims to bring the most informative, fascinating, engaging top 10 videos. So basically top 10 videos streamed consistently. TMZ, which is just TMZ videos the whole day. AFV, America's Funniest Videos, which is sort of like a best of that runs through the whole day. Pet Collective is, pet dog cat videos, that sort of thing. People Are Awesome, which is original videos and compilations, people doing extraordinary things. Adventure Sports Network, which is a worldwide leader in adventure sports, outdoor lifestyle, and travel. Food 52, which is, as you can figure, it's cooking shows. FilmRise Free Movies, which is anything from the FilmRise library. It has a constant 24-hour stream of that. Tastemade, which is planning your next adventure abroad at home. Tastemade shows you how it's done, whether basically showing you how to plan your trips and go on amazing journeys, sort of thing. Now, there's also FilmRise Crime, which is best crime TV. FilmRise Classic TV, which is things like 21 Jump Street. And then, they're all free because they're ad supported. But one thing they mentioned was that there's half the ads that you would normally see on regular television. So cool. That's pretty sweet, I think. Now, there's probably going to be more content coming. Now, we did ask, while we were there, other press people as well, if the Apple TV and Disney TV were coming to the Roku devices. And the response was yes, but they weren't confirming necessarily at what time yet. It won't be at launch with the Apple. I'm assuming there's probably some sort of exclusivity thing that Apple wants all of their own devices to work with it first, sort of thing. But they did say that it is coming, so that's cool. So you will be able to, work pretty much any streaming service through the Roku, whenever that launches. So they did tell me I'm going to get a chance to check out some of the devices as soon as they have, press samples and review copies available. They'll send them out so I can test out to see, just how smooth they are, functioning. And like I have a situation where my router is 2 cement walls through, to the bedroom, and I usually run like 100-foot Ethernet cable to my room. Now, will this work Wi-Fi wise? Because Wi-Fi is kind of spotty unless you have a good signal. So if I end up getting a couple devices I can try out and see, under non-ideal settings, am I going to get a decent signal? And then under an ideal setting of having it in the living room where it's just literally 10 feet away from the router, how does it work that way? So as soon as I get review units, I'll try them out and let everybody know how they work. So I thought that was pretty cool. It was a nice event. I was happy to go check it out, and I'm looking forward tentatively to see how this shapes up, because it could be my television in my living room I've been using a lot since I got for Netflix and YouTube, because for YouTube it's the only app that I have. Even PC doesn't work with HDR. It only seems to work through the TV that way. So I'm looking forward to having other alternatives where I can plug in devices in other rooms and just have it work and not have to have a computer hooked up or a gaming system hooked up. So I'll get back to you, but right now it's pretty exciting that this is coming out, and at those price points, $40, $50, and $90. Especially if you're somebody, let's say for your grandparents who you want to just get them on YouTube and looking at Netflix, at $40, it's going to be pretty good come the holiday season as like a stocking stuffer, or if you don't have a ton of cash, that could be like a full present for somebody, which is pretty sweet.
Okay, son, now you're starting to scare the viewers.
Just act normal.
I'd ask you to do the same, but I'm afraid that ship has sailed.
Why are there so many ostriches? But you have a game that is dipped into the
ropey, thick window cocking.
So guys, we'll be right back right here on This Week in Geek, only on thisweekingeek.net and many other sites where I syndicate this crap, because I'm a media slut.
I like turtles.
Loose like your mom.
That's right.
No fisting, you say. Anything else you object to?
Me likey tater tots.
You've been listening to This Week in Geek. Check out our website at thisweekingeek.net for more geek content, and subscribe to our podcast through iTunes or any podcatcher. If you'd like to comment on this episode, head to this episode post on thisweekingeek.net and comment through Facebook Connect. Or you can call our voicemail line at 817-717-7202. Follow and message us on Twitter at This Week in Geek. And check out our Instagram at twig_official_podcast. And if you're the good old-fashioned email type, send us an email at feedback@thisweekingeek.net. We'll see you next time. And remember,
lower your shields and surrender your listenership.